Hey Eric, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for chiming in. I appreciate it. Armani RT been doing good, buddy. How about yourself? Wide body Mike, three pedal J. Let's go. So we're gonna go back to the usual way I was doing things, just me, uh, till I figure out some other way, some other easy way to bring people in, and we don't get the echo and we don't get the reverb. I know that drives y'all drove y'all crazy the last what 3 or 4 times. I had people come in the come in the chat, so we probably won't have anyone in the chat for a couple weeks until, like I said, I can figure out how to get somebody in here and not have that echo and reverb. So you're going back to the old Wednesdays where you listen to me wrap my gums and go through the comments. So hopefully you guys are still good enough to keep me going for an hour in the comments, or we can start doing topics. But yeah. So so getting back to that usual format. So I'm going to talk about shake and bake a little bit, and then I'll get into the comments. And like I said, hopefully y'all can keep me going, or I'll just grab a topic out of the air and start wrapping my gums, and we'll go from there. But shake and bake, man, she's almost ready to go. We got a few things we got to tighten up with the suspension, get the alignment dialed in, and then she's 100% ready to go for March. That's kind of what we're waiting on March to roll around here to get some hopefully decent enough weather at the beginning of March where the tracks will open up. Most of them have stuff, the first week of March scheduled. Like I said, hopefully the weather holds out and it gets a little warmer, gets in those 50s, 60s, get into that great Maryland weather that we need to hit the track with. And then we're gonna hit the track with I say the new setup. It's really we just swapped out cams, so we're gonna see how the car does with Max custom grind cam in the car compared to what we ran with the MMX cam. Biggest difference, he really didn't give me the specs of the cams, but me just we'll say guesstimating, the specs are probably fairly close, maybe just a tad off one way or the other, but the biggest difference is we are now locked vice limited. So we were limited when I had the MMX cam in. We have now locked out VVT with the cam I have from Mac. So that being said, that goes to Bruce's comment 944. that's where that 944 number came from, was Max cam with here we go. You guys are gonna bash me in the comments with no ice. But when we did put ice in, we wound up losing boost. So I don't know if it was some belt slip going on or what. But I'm gonna get a new belt before the season starts, and we're gonna try and run with ice as much as I can. So that's the plan with Shake and Bake, to at least probably mid-June, end of June, maybe beginning of July, depending on how the channel goes, how things come into the pocketbook. We'll see what we're gonna do come that time frame. I know I've said it a couple times, talking about going twin turbos. So y'all heard it here first. I'm giving y'all the spoiler right now. We're looking at going twin turbos, probably, like I said, that midsummer, because I do want to do a few runs give Max Cam its due diligence and giving it a shot, seeing what it can do, and we can draw somewhat of a comparison between the two cams. Really, between being locked and being limited. So hopefully we can get some good runs in. But that's the intent, is to possibly go twin turbos in the summertime for Shake and Bake. So there you go. That's what's going on with Shake and Bake. I know you guys see the shorts that I'm putting up there. Those are all from last season. So they're all from videos from last season. So you guys have seen them all already. I'm just trying to put some shorts out there, see if I can get some more traction on the channel, because my channel used to be almost 50-50, 50% subscribed, 50% not subscribed, which I thought I was doing really, really, really good, to now it's 86% not subscribed and 14% subscribed. So I really, really flip-flop from where I used to be. So you got friends out there, you got whatever, make sure they subscribe to the channel. I need some help. I need your help specifically to make these things happen. All right, let's go ahead and hit some of these comments up here. Yeah, Mike, it's been a while since you've been on one of the Wednesday nights, man. I'm glad you're back in. I love having you in here. Yep, Bruce, you saw the short, buddy. You're gonna see the 971 here, and I did kind of caveat that 971 in one of those videos. That the cam was just acting funny, and I think that was a fluke. And I should have dug into that more before I actually posted it and said it did 971, but I think there was a little shenanigans with the cam in there that hit that 971. But 3-pedal J, back to the OG format. Yeah, we're gonna stick with this format for a while. Like I said, until I can figure out how to get someone easily into OBS without having all that back reverb and echo from folks. Eric, any suggestions on putting an electric fan in my old 5.7 2000 Dodge truck? Yeah, Mike's got a good question. Is it a clutch fan now? Are you sure it's not an electric fan? Jay's got a point too. You're probably gonna have to do some fabrication, do some mounts and things like that to put some electric fans in there. But yeah, I mean, if you can make it work, definitely. You know, if they are a clutch fan now, it'll save you a little bit here and there with some electric fans. So there you go. If you can do it, do it. 3-pedal J, try using aluminum stock and go from there. Yep. All right, so it is a clutch fan. Yeah, so you may pick up a a little bit by switching to electric fans, but like I said, it's going to take some fabrication on your part, probably some thinking to make sure everything fits. Jay, I hope I can get some of my cold parts in here soon. Yeah, like I said, I'm prepping to go twin turbo. I've already got several pieces. I got the not the blow off valve, the wastegate, and I got a boost controller. So I'm just gonna need another wastegate. I'm gonna get another blow off valve, because when I do sell the D1X kit, I'm gonna put the Pro Charger blow off valve in that kit. And then it's turbos and piping, and Mac is already working on the piping. He's figuring that all out, and then it's just getting the money for the turbos, the piping, and some money for Mac for doing the fabrication and putting everything in there, and then off we go, twin turbskis. Going to be interesting, folks. Going to be interesting. Mike, how you doing, buddy? Appreciate you chiming in. Oh, Mike, it was raining bad yesterday. Oh, it was terrible. It rained all day yesterday, and it was bucket loads. It just wasn't raining. It was raining buckets. But today it wasn't too bad. But I know you're talking about the weather in March, and then you're probably talking about the weather in October, November when we're racing, compared to a lot of people up north where they close probably in that September, mid-September time frame. But yeah, our weather does go a tad bit longer. The further south you go, the longer you can race. So who knows? Maybe wind up somewhere south one of these days. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Eric J, I seen your video today. Yeah, Jay always has a lot of projects going on, man. It's crazy how many projects Jay's working on at one time. I know he doesn't tell y'all all the time, but he's always got a couple projects going on. But if you ain't subscribed to Jay, you need to go subscribe to Three Pedal Jay. Check out his channel. He's putting out some good information. Jay's more technical than I am. He's more mechanical than I am. He knows a lot more about that kind of stuff than I do. So if you want to get into that, deeper down into the technical, mechanical side of things, he's got some good videos out there for y'all to watch. So go watch some of his videos. Support him if you can. We all wind up supporting each other in some shape or form, and that's really what it's all about, right? Just supporting each other. Mike's going back to Eric, 2 to 4K CFM fan or two middle ones. Yeah, those zip ties that go through the radiator are really they're actually pretty nice. But whether you go with one fan or two, you can leave them open is fine. But if you got some kind of fabrication skills and you could come up with some kind of shroud to go over those fans, that'd be that much better to keep everything cool and kosher. So remember that when you're switching out those fans, Eric. Anyone ever definitely a fuel injector plug ever tap a fuel injector plug for a tack signal? Bruce, yes. And I want to say it's the white wire, if I'm not mistaken. White wire, and it might have a green stripe, or it just may be a white wire. I'm sure Wide Body Mike or Jay can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the white wire on the injector plug. Jay's asking where Mike is at. Step and spell checker. Hey, come on, Mike. You need spell check on that city, man. And that's only because I'm a Steelers fan. But I know what you mean, Mike. Weather gets bad up there in Pittsburgh, that's for sure, no doubt. Okay, Mike, what about the wiring? Wiring it in. Part how to get it to work like it's supposed to. All right, so you can tap in. I'm sure they're probably going to tell you down below, but you can tap into the wiring harness and use the same wires. Jay's thanking Eric. Eric, I appreciate you supporting Jay too. That's awesome. I really do appreciate it. Jay says he's got a lot of stuff to do. Mike saying Bruce just tapped the wire. He was asking which one, and I think it's the white one. Where was Bruce's question? Anyone ever? Yeah, I think it's the white wire, and like Wide Body Mike says, you always want to solder that stuff in. The little twisty connections, that stuff works, but it's always better to solder it in if you can. Eric, twins, let's go. Hey, it all depends how the channel goes and how the money flows at this point. That's what it's going to boil down to. I hate to say it at this point, but making swaps this big costs a lot of money. So we'll see where we're at come come a couple months down the road. Maybe we do it early. It just all depends how things go. But D Max, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for chiming in. I appreciate it. Yeah, you do it already, Jay. We've already talked about it, and I've already blasted it on Wednesday night a couple times. So pretty much the real OG folks, the real subscribers, the real hardcore Modern Red heavy fans are here Wednesday night, and they've heard the twin turbo discussion a couple times. Mike, everybody's going turbo. Yeah, to be honest, probably should have went that way from the beginning. If I knew back when I started what I know now, I probably would have just went twin turbos from the get-go. On a money mission, 6 to 650 wheel horsepower, 2017 Charger RT. I want to touch 500 wheel horsepower before I put a Hellcat blower on, and after the blower, 600 to 650. Is this possible without a bore? Nope. Nope. You're NA, naturally aspirated. You're without boring it out and probably having to stroke it out as well. You're not going to get 500 wheel horsepower out of a 5.7. I don't want to say it's impossible, because nothing's necessarily impossible, but it would be extremely difficult to try and get 500 wheel horsepower out of a 5.7 naturally aspirated. I mean, if you just put a blower on a stock 5.7, that gets you in the 500 range. Where you get the 650 is when you bring in the cam, you bring in the intake manifold, depending on which blower you go with, and then how much boost you're going to push. Gets you to the 650. So if you do it, if you can get a 5.7 to 500 wheel horsepower without boring and stroking it out, let me know how you did it, because I'd love to hear it. Jay, just remember Stark and I did it first. That's true. You two are hardcore turbo guys. Seems like everyone on turbos for sure. So keep in mind, right, that Mike, Jay, me, Stark, we're all into the racing scene, and that's where turbos really wind up shining. Especially, if you're running in good weather and you got the right stuff. You can't beat turbos when it comes to the parasitic loss of all the other superchargers, and the efficiency of a turbo. They're just super efficient. It's just the way it is. Mike, don't forget to hit the like button. Yeah, hit that like button, folks. I'm not watching the channel tonight, but yeah, hit that like button. Definitely helps. Bruce, I know Mike, but so short wire showing, thought depinning and soldering might be easier. Yeah. Yep. Could be. Yeah. I know I tapped into mine without depinning it, but depinning is probably the easiest way to do it. Wide body Mike J. None of us are first. That's true. Genius Car Pros. What year is the BGE 6.4 engine? I know in the cars they didn't put it in the cars until 18, The trucks, I'm not 100% sure. So there's Don's answer. I don't know if Mike or Jay answered it down below, but I know 2018 and newer Scat Packs have the BGE 6.4. And like I said, it came in the truck earlier. I just don't know how much early or later. I just don't know how much later. I don't know if it's 1 or 2 years late. Could be 16, 17. I'm not sure when they put BGE blocks into trucks. Bruce. Already hit you and Jay's. All right, thanks, Bruce. I appreciate it, buddy. BG engines can be found in 2014 Ram trucks. There you go. So 14 for Rams, and then 18 for the cars. Eric, what's the point of running ice if you're not going to need it now? You can use all that space for turbos. Well, I'm still gonna have to run ice, because when it gets hot, the ice is gonna help cool down the intake temps considerably by not using ice. That's the whole purpose of ice, is to bring the intake air temps down, to keep them cool, to keep everything happy. So I know Mike gets on me a lot because I don't do ice all the time, but the intent of ice is to, specifically in the winter or the summertime, is to keep the intake air temps somewhat consistent with what they are in better air. That way you're running more consistent throughout the entire year, and not just fast times spring and fall and slower times in the summer. So that's the whole idea behind the ice. Why body just busy with life and counting down till the second grandbaby. Yeah, he's got a second grandbaby coming on the way. That's awesome. Congratulations again, Mike. Jay's like, but in our group, I'm claiming it. You can claim it, Jay. You and Stark can claim it. Mike's going back to Eric, said the same thing. Colder air, more power. Mike, I sell a kit for Rams for the fans, Black Magic, I think. So there you go, Eric. So you may have something you can just bolt in. I don't know. You'll have to take a look at those kits that Mike Hauser's talking about, and you may just be able to bolt something in. Maybe it's easier than I thought. Genius Car Pros, is the internal stronger than 6.4 and Challenger Charger? No, all the internals are the same. A 6.4 is a 6.4, whether it's in a truck or a car, basic truck or a car. It's the same 6.4. Eric, I see fab work is definitely not a problem. It's figuring out how to wire the fans to run in low and high when they need to. Like I said, I think you can check into the wiring. That's, yeah, I see what you're saying. You'll probably have to get a new, yeah, you probably have to get a new temperature gauge that allows you to tap into it. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Google that one. If it was me, I would Google it, or I would go ask Wide Body Mike or Three Pedal J. Like, all right, how do I wire this thing in? They're terrible for boost based on the ring location, which is why you need to have drop-ins. So that's going back to Genius's comment of the 6.4. When it comes to reverb, try wearing headphones. We did that. Both of us As a matter of fact, in every one of those videos, we were all wearing headphones, and it didn't help. Yeah, I got you. We were wearing headphones, so using the Video Ninja, which is an online thing, and trying to get it into OBS. There just seems to be some kind of, I don't know. It seemed to work for a while because I listened to the video. So the first little while it was fine, and then just for some reason, down towards after maybe 30 minutes or so, that's when the reverb and the echo came in. So really don't know what happened, but I got to figure something else out to have people on. Hey, can you get a good deal on 18 10.5 rims with drag radials for under $900 new? Is that a good deal? Depends. Depends whose rims who's the manufacturer of the rims, and which drag radials are on there, and how well are they. If the drag radials are new, shoot, $900 it just barely gets you drag radials. So yeah, if the drag radials are new and they're Mickeys or Hoosiers, or even Nittos, yeah, that's not a bad deal. Mac using my old stuff to fab up. Yay. hey, no sense in recreating the wheel if you don't have to. Jade, going back to Eric, told him to use a thermal switch. Why did modern Hemi recommend BGE 6.4 over the others? The reason why I tell you to go to the 6.4 BGE, and I caveated that with doing drop-ins. I think I did mention doing drop-ins as well. It's just because there's no replacement for a displacement. there really isn't, right? Starting with a bigger displacement is always going to be better, and it's always going to be capable of making more power with less boost, which is less stress on everything. That's kind of why I said that Genius was, yeah, you do the drop-ins, the crank is already forged, you don't have to worry about that. All you have to do is a set of pistons and rods, and our ARP hardware, and wide body Mike will tell you sky's the limit, and he's on stock heads. He hasn't even done anything to his heads with a 6.4 with drop-ins. Sky is the limit. You can go as far as you want. The only reason why I didn't go 6.4 and everyone kicks me in the rear end for not doing it is I wanted to stay 5.7. I wanted to prove, hey, the 5.7 is much more stout than people give it credit for on the internet. I think I've done that, along with Frostbite Ram, Mopar Motorsports on YouTube. He changed his name. He's proving it on a stock bottom end that these 5.7s with a stock bottom end can take more punishment than people give it credit for. Now, the two of us pushed it to the extreme. He's even pushed it further than me. He was like 21 pounds of boost, I think he said. So he's another pound and a half more boost than I pushed through my stock bottom end. But so hopefully, Genius, hopefully I answered your question on why I said what I said about the BGE 6.4. Like I said, there's nothing wrong sticking with a 5.7, getting a forged crank, rods, and pistons, and running a 5.7. The sky is the limit with that as well. You can go as far as you want. Well, as far as the cast iron block will hold, that's the next limitation we may find out someday, is how much power the stock 5.7 the stock 5.7 engine itself can take with forged internals. So we may find that out. How strong is the 5.7 block? We'll see. It's going to be one here. for the high on Saturday, man. That's cold. Whew. Mike, good point. Yeah, they are stronger as well. The blocks now the BGE we're really talking about the block is much stronger. Jay, better cooling passages, also true. Yeah, and the 6.4 can handle boost. You just have to do drop ins. RT Life got his car back. That was cool. That was awesome. He called me. He was so excited. He was so excited that he got his car back, man. He's happy as a pig in slop, man. He really is. Oh gosh, it skipped on me again. Ooh, skipped way down there. There we go. Jay's going back to Genius, all around stronger block, 100%. MRH, thanks for the ghost. No problem, buddy. That's what it's all about, man. Genius. Okay, I wanted year range that are installed in vehicles. I have a Jeep 6.4. I have a SRT Jeep 6.4 2018 and Charger 2018 6.4. All right. My friend wants to increase power in his 06 5.7. Is it worth messing with, or should he buy an 09 and up? Yeah, that's a tough one, right? Because it's always hard to tell someone to spend. You know, it's easy for me to tell you to spend your money, right? Uh, Initially, I would tell you to spend the money and get an '09, right? And just start with the Eagle heads, and then basically you got the same engine that I started with when I was in the stock bottom end. Um, and there's nothing wrong with the later 5.7s. Um, the pre-Eagle 5.7s. Um, yeah, I mean you can do some of the same stuff. It's just the heads don't flow quite as well. Um, you don't have to worry about VVT, or not VVT, but yeah, VVT. Um, there's obviously pros and cons both ways, but if he wants to keep his 300 5.7 and build it, that's perfectly fine. I mean, he'll be fine. Uh, J, both of those have BGE blocks. After 2017, only BGEs were used for 6.4s and Hellcats. All right. Someone has yeah, Mike Hauser. There you go, Mike or Eric. I'm sorry. Mike's giving you some more fan kits. Eric, absolutely. I'm just a fan of this Hemi platform, and you guys make it fun and informative. So I appreciate you guys' effort into these videos and input. Yeah. No problem, Eric. That's primary one primarily why I do it. Two, I like doing it, and three, I'm doing all this stuff to the car and out there racing. I might as well have my own record of everything I've done and all the races I'm doing and all of that. So um, there you go, and you're most welcome, and more to come. Challenger has dual fans, right? I believe the Scat Packs have dual fans. Some of the 5.7s have a single fan. I don't know if some of the other 5.7s have dual fans or not, because I know when I bought mine, mine came with the Super Track Pack, which came with the extra cooling stuff. So I don't know if a non Track Pack 5.7 has two fans or one. I'm not really sure. But I've got two fans now, and they work awesome. So I got the Dorman Scat Pack dual replacement fans, and they're awesome. They're awesome. And after I figured out what my cooling problem was, blowing fuses, well, blown fuses, and one of my fans was bad and just wouldn't run. So once I got a new set of fans, new set of fans, the new radiator, I have absolutely no problems. In the dead of summer, my car barely reaches 190, 195. Genius, that's a tough one. That's what I said, Jay. Eric, thanks, Mike. $300, not bad. Which, okay. Oh. Excuse me, it's too early for me to do that. Eric says, hopefully. Mike says, good luck. Wide body Mike, I'm going twin 78 75s or one single 98. Ugh. Either way, that's gonna be a monster. Genius, yeah, he wants the heads off one of my 5.7 2013 motors I got laying around. Thanks, Jay, for the info. Yeah, like I said, it's kind of a toss up. Jay's going back to Mike, twin 78 75s for the win, but a single 98 will be a monster too, no doubt. Eric, single 98, let's go. Go with that big toilet seat. That's what I called Stark. I think Stark has a 98. I called it a toilet seat, man. That thing is huge, huge turbo. Hugh, what is the air fuel ratio at wide open throttle for your car? I think mine is too rich at wide open throttle and I'm burning out cats. I tried the Cook's Green cats and they lasted 2 years. Yeah, so I think I said this once before in the chat, and I haven't put it out anywhere else just because of the EPA, and I don't want to have to deal with it. But my Cook's Green cats, when the last time I took the exhaust off, they were rattled around loose. One was literally stuck in the back of the little tube the cat's in. It was like jammed back in there, so I'm sure I was getting some serious restriction from those. But when I did the engine swap, I just took a air hammer and air hammered them things out, and so technically I'm catless. But wide open throttle for me and E85, Dave has it around 11.8 ish. I've seen it go 11.5. You know, AFR bounces around, so it's anywhere from 11.4, 11.5 to 11.8, 11.9, somewhere around in there. Three pedal J, anytime genius. Yep. Bruce, 500 rear horsepower, plate nitrous with 400 shot. What could happen? Well, really, you'd only need a 200 shot, so you might be able to get away with it if you run nitrous. If you still call nitrous car NA, borderline maybe grayish area. But there you go. So if you want 5.7 to make 500 horsepower, arguably naturally aspirated, add a 200 shot of nitrous and you're over 500. Crash and burn. I did a Hellcat supercharger and adapter plates on my 5.7 smooth boost controller as 4 weeks back order, and I want to control the bypass valve. Any alternatives on the market before I wire up something? That is a good question. I don't know. I'll leave that to three pedal J or wide body Mike. Hopefully, one of those two, Crash and Burn, will answer that question. Like I said, I'm not a mechanic. I'm not a tuner. I'm not an engine builder. I've only been doing this since 2016, and really, I only really know what's what's on my car and a little bit of stuff outside. So I'm really limited in my knowledge of other things outside of what I've done. But hopefully, Three Pedal J or Mike has answered that question. On a money mission, thanks for the information. You're welcome. Jay's asking Hugh if he's NA. Bruce in a moon tune. Right on, Eric. Serge, I have a 2020 Challenger shaker cam long tubes. I want to swap my open diff to a 309, but my tuner said a 370 will be better 4 mile time. What do you think? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I tried it. You can go back and watch my videos. I bet you probably 3 years ago. I had 370s in my car, and all it did was kill my gas mileage and did nothing for my 60-foot or quarter mile. Ooh, what's happening there? So Surge 309 is, especially with the 8-speed that's in your 2020. It doesn't matter if it's Scat Pack or a 5.7 or an RT. 309s work outstanding with the 8-speed transmission. So me personally, I'd go with the 309s because, like I said, the 370s did absolutely nothing for me, and it's gonna make it that much harder for you to hook at the track if you go 370s. And I don't know if you're trying to create a track car or a roll racing car or what. 370s may be better with a roll racer car. I don't know, but I just know 309s work for me. Work great. But yeah, when I had the 370s, it was a little tougher to hook because of the lower gearing, and it didn't really help. I know physics says that's wrong. It should help, but I'm telling you, in practice, it really didn't help me at all. And plus, the 370s are hard to find. There's not a lot of those around. I think they were only put in, if I am not mistaken, they were only put in the manual Hellcats, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken on that, but I think the 370s were only in the manual Hellcats. So they are hard to find. Wide Body Mike going back to Hugh on 11.5 to 12 on corn in the 10s. Z, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for chopping it. I appreciate it. Bruce, yes, sir. Chris, that engine on twins will make more power on less boost than it does now, and it'll be more happy. 100%. And that's why we're doing it. Not necessarily to do less boost to make the same power, to do more boost to make a lot more power. Not sure where we're going to go power wise. We'll see what happens, but that's the intent, is to keep the boost, make more power. But Chris, you're 100% right. 100% spot on, brother. Jay going back to Hugh. Pro Charge. Mike goes back 11 and a half to 12. BGE blocks 25 300 Rams 2018 plus. Yep. Jay's going back to Chris. 3 pedal J have some heads. I want you to put 218 valves in for me. All right. Hugh. Jay's going back to Hugh. Bruce, get technical. IAT. Intake air temps. Intake air temps. Chris has spoken. Absolutely. You guys are beating me up now. Now that I finally say I may go twin turbos, you guys are all on top of me about it. I know twin turbos are more efficient, they're better, more power, less boost. All I get it. I get it. I get it. I'm trying to succumb to the turbo nation. It just boils down to money, like I said. Why buy my air fuel is 10 at watt. I need to have my car retuned. It shouldn't be that rich. Yeah, it shouldn't be the 10s. Definitely shouldn't be in the 10s. I mean, low 11s. It should be low 11s at the worst. Bruce, I can make some corn better than the stuff at the gas station. I know, right? I need to set up a still in the backyard. It'd be cheaper than the E85 I'm paying for. Jay's going back to Hugh. Bruce Jay's going back to Bruce. Don't threaten me. Chris says valves aren't a problem. Sweet. Jay's going back to Chris. Genius. Going to 3-pedal J. I have a 2018 6.4. A bad 2018 6.4 engine out of a Charger. It spins. No crack in the block. Is it worth rebuilding? Possibly how much with better internals? Yeah, I would. Genius. If it was me, I would take it to a machine shop, have them check it out. It's going to cost you a couple $100. Take it to a machine shop, have them check it out. And if you're in the kind of DMV area, in the DC, Baltimore, Waldorf area, Chris is online at Clinton Machine Shop. Those guys are awesome. But like I said, I would take that engine, take it to a machine shop, have them look at it, have them check it out, make sure everything's good to go. And then once you know for a fact it's good to go, definitely definitely build it, right? Especially if the crank is good and the block is good. All you got to do is drop in pistons, baby. If the heads are good, you know what I mean? If your heads are good, the valves are, I don't know what, when you say bad engine, there could be a gazillion things wrong with it. But I mean, as long as your heads are okay, valves can be replaced. As long as your block is okay, the piston rods, you're going to replace them anyway. As long as the crank is okay, yeah, I would definitely go ahead and build it, right? Because all you got to do is get it cleaned up, replace, if you have to replace the valves, and you can get a set of drop-ins for $1,500. I don't know what it costs to redo the valves, possibly the valve seats, depending on what's wrong with the engine. Yeah, it would definitely be worth building that 6.4. Bruce, get the permit, allow 50 gallons a day, and any extra is party. I got you, Bruce. Mike, yes, Surge. I'm telling you, 309 is the best. Mike, I never did 390. I never did the 391s or 393s, whatever they are. I did have 370s, and they just didn't work very well. Bruce, sorry to hear. Eric, definitely Google it. I wanted to ask everyone here first, and take what I can and make. Yeah, I got you. You got a lot of smart people in here. Wide Body Mike, Jay. You got some smart folks in here that can give you some good ideas. Genius. Honestly, I take all my questionable blocks to Chris Wells. Clinton Machine Shop. He'll tell me if they're good or not. That's what I'm saying. Genius, I don't know where you're at. But like I said, if you're anywhere close to Clinton, Maryland, Waldorf area, Clinton Machine Shop is the place to go. Now there's some busy folks because they're good. Right? It's like you drive by a restaurant, there's a whole lot of cars there. More than likely, it's probably a pretty good restaurant. You go by a restaurant where there's no cars, probably not so good. Probably not so good. But definitely, I would, if you're in the area, definitely get that block looked at, and then make your decision from there. Race stars, yeah, that's not a bad deal. Try fives, $900 for some race stars and some try fives. That's yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Hughes going back to Jay. Wish someone could tune my car. I'm 0 for 2 when it comes to tuners. Yeah. Eh, tuners are tough sometimes, man. Gosh. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, Hugh. Really am, man. But there's just some guys out there wanting to make money and are just not that good. Eric, Jay is that hard to wire. Okay, you're talking about the switch. Jay's going back to Genius. If the crank is good, drop in pistons like 17, 18, depending on which options you choose. And then you can send it with stock heads and be happy. There you go, Genius. You got it from both Jay and I. You got it a lot quicker from Jay, and you got the long-winded modern red Hemi answer. Let's see. Let's do this one. Eric, Summit sells thermal switches and window switches. Yep. God, this thing keeps jumping around. Hugh, absolutely. God. Golly, it jumped all the way to the bottom on me. I hate it when it does this. I started switch, Genius. You can use AF boost cut to help. 3-pedal J stock 5.7 with boost for the win. I'm pushing mine until it blows, and then a 6.4 is going to go in. The Dutchman, hey, what's going on, buddy? I'm swapping HP 70 for HP 90. Any advice or things I should look out for? One, make sure you got a good tuner that knows what they're doing. 2, watch my videos and make sure you have everything you need. And then there you go. Eric's going back to Jay. Yeah, Bruce. Drop-ins for a 6.4, anywhere from 1,500 to 1,800, like you said, depending on what options you want. How much horsepower you want to push. But yeah, the drop-ins for the 6.4 are not. I mean, don't get me wrong, $1,500 to $1,800 is a lot of money, but in the grand schemes of modifying these cars, that's not too bad for some drop-ins. 3-pedal J, doesn't he have to change drive shaft? The HP trans is longer and the drive shaft is shorter. I promise you that. Jay, I've never done an external fan yet. Neither have I. Genius, I have so many customers with the 5.7. I send them all to look at your channel, Red Hemi. Thanks for all your input. Hey, thank you for pushing them to my channel, Genius. I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm not a mechanic, not a tuner, not an engine builder, and I'm very scoped in my knowledge. But I try and do my best with what I know. I try not to talk about things I don't know about. I try and keep it to what I know and what I know is true and to be a fact. Jay's asking where's Hughes located. Will the DSS drive line that I had custom for the HP 70 still fit the HP 90? Speed Shop says yes. Internet says no. Dutchman, absolutely 100% not. I promise you. If you go back and look at my video when I did my swap, I think I put the drive shafts beside each other. I may not have. I think I did. I can't remember. But the drive shaft for the HP 70 is longer than the one you need for the HP 90. So you're going to need that Hellcat drive shaft. Ant, what's going on, buddy? All right, Eric's going back to J. I'm starting to run out of time. Yeah, 98's going to put him on Stark's level for sure. Jay's going to say Twins. All right, 8.9 is the real value for E85 rich wide open throttle. Technically cleaned out the debris from your so they can flow efficiently. Exactly, Mike. That's what I did. Junior, what's going on, buddy? Glad you made it. Yeah, I don't know of anything of a replacement for Smooth Boost. I don't know. Jay, and I'm not sure that our factory ECUs can handle the true stoic values E85. At least I haven't seen anything that says it can. Stuart, what's going on, buddy? What's a good cam for a 392? To be honest, man, the 392s are pretty stout stock, to be honest. What I would do is I would hit up Mac and say, hey Mac, I need a cam for my 392. Mac built on IG, or just go to EFI Specialties and either talk to Dave or him. They can get you a good cam for a 392. Because he put one of his cams in his car, his 6.4. Put down some pretty. I can't remember exactly what it put down, but it put down some pretty good power. So there you go. Go to Mac Built, EFI Specialties. They can hook you up, Stuart. So the lower the gear ratio, the better on gas mileage too. I'm going to say this wrong, so I'm going to leave that to hopefully someone answered. Eric, hopefully someone answered down below. But you'll get better gas mileage with 309s than you will 370s. There. Hopefully that's clear. Junior, what's the teasers? Twin turbos. It's the last time you're going to hear me say it. Even on a Wednesday night. I may slip up and say it again Wednesday night, but twin turbos, that's the teaser. All right, Jay's going back to Junior, not Junior, but Eric. See, there you go. Bruce got 370. Maybe the stick scat packs come with 373s. Ooh, I don't know. I'm not sure. Now you got me guessing. But I know 370s are hard to come by. Ruben, how do you like the Demon replicas so far? I love them. There's nothing. I haven't had any issues with them at all. They're great. 370 is only a manual Hellcats. That's what I thought. So Ant's going back to Jay. Jay's going back to Ant. Hughes with the 8-speed 309s are better than the 370. Yep. They're Hugh likes to throw the numbers out there, man. I love you, brother. You seem to have them numbers off the top of your head. Off the top of your head. But yeah, 309s definitely better than the 370s with the 8 speeds. Ant's going back to Jay. Jay's going back to Hugh. Genius is going back to Jay. Genius, definitely, buddy. Check out Clinton Machine Shop. I'm telling you, they're the one that put my short block together for me. So he did the crank, the pistons, the rods, all the hardware, all of the um, all the bearings. He did golly, uh, boarded out 20 over. Yes, I've said it at that, and it's in my description. I'm bored 20 over. So they bored everything, honed everything, decked the block, no, he didn't deck my heads. They decked the block. And they are very, very, very well priced as well. I'll say that. Clinton Machine Shop for the win. So Chris, if you're still in here, Clinton Machine Shop for the win. Bro, I'm poor. I have a 13. No, it's just how your tuner chooses to do it. Neither way is wrong. There's just a scaling value. Yep. Jay, that's cap. When you tune in Lambda, it doesn't matter. That's a good point, Ant. Dutchman Speed Shop told me that the DSS driveline comes with spacers to fit all platforms. So it should fit the 90 HP 90 as well. Honestly, I don't know. I guess I will find out. To be honest, I don't know about spacers in a driveline. I don't know how comfortable I would feel with a spacer with my drive shaft. I think I would feel safer spending the $1,000 for another drive shaft that's the right length instead of using spacers. That's just my opinion. I'm spending your money, I get it, but I went and got a new drive shaft, and I just sold my other one. So if you have a DSS drive shaft for the 70, you can always sell it. I can't remember what I sold mine for. I can't remember, to be honest, what I sold it for. Hugh, Dawn, instead of turbos, you can add nitrous to the procharger, offsets parasitic loss to the supercharger. You also get instant power with the nitrous. That's true. The nitrous is still hooked up, but it's not plumbed into the throttle body anymore. So all we got to do is drill a hole to hook it up and run nitrous again. That is true. That is a good point. I can run nitrous to offset that loss, but then I can always run turbos and nitrous. See, Hugh, you opened up a whole new can of worms. Oh my God, we're at 10:01. Man, we are overtime. $300 to life. Should I ditch Diablo? You know, it really depends on what you want to do, right? Yeah, see, it depends on your plans and goals. Yep. All right, guys, we're literally 2 minutes past 10 o'clock. I went longer than usual because y'all had me going in the chat and kept me going in the chat. I know you guys. It's Dawn's bedtime. You know it, Ant. It's my bedtime. But yeah, quickly, Diablo HP tuners. Diablo, my opinion, Diablo is more user friendly than HP tuners, just because it's easier to log, easier to get your tunes in and stuff, because it's all touchscreen, right on your little, either your i3 or your Trinity 2, depending on what you buy. Where HP tuners, it's on a laptop, a few more steps to go through to get things done, a lot more flexibility with HP tuners from your perspective, where Diablo stuff is kind of more locked down. But that is going to do it for this one, folks. If you're stopping in for the first time, especially for a Wednesday night, check out the rest of the channel. If you like what's going on, like, subscribe, smash the bell, shoot me a comment. You know, I'll know the deal. Every red penny from YouTube goes back into Shake and Bake. We both appreciate it. But I love all you guys, and We are going to do this again next week, and one of these days I'll figure out how to get people in here without the reverb or the echo. But that's it for this one, folks. Till the next one, adios.